Good morning, guys. Back after a few days, missed a lot of action. I was not able to keep up with the news or anything. Just saw the earnings fun after hours, see what happened. Didn't really dig too much into exactly what exactly happened with Facebook, Google, whatever. But there were some big moves that I definitely missed. And LB, thank you so much for taking care of pre-market last few days. I was just dealing with some food poisoning issues, guys. Kind of back, you know, for most of the day today. But for pre-market, I got something for you guys today. If you guys went through the gamma report, a lot of things, a lot of hints that they've given you in the gamma report today, right? We'll go over Amazon Snap hints after. But first, number one, 4480 is a very important level for SPX, ES, whatever you want to call it. They're pretty similar, right? 4480, and now I think we're trading underneath it. All right. So I'll write them down. So here, looking at the SPX, just the daily chart overall, please ignore my lines here. I know there are a lot. I don't want to take them out because then it takes a long time to put them back up, right? Overall, we do look like we're in a nice little uptrend. We bounced hard here. This rally came. But these rallies, some of you guys need to understand, when there's a huge downshift in the market and then these rallies come, some of you guys we saw, the reason admins are still saying that there's more downside to come in the coming months, maybe because we see something at a macro level or some experience that we have that you yet have to have, in my opinion. All right, these rallies are usually hedge covers of that happen, and then there's snapback rally. All these things happen. These rallies will happen on more downside. Let's say tomorrow, if SPX comes to 4,000, there will be a nice rally all the way towards 4,300. But the question is, in this type of market, once you don't catch the bottom here, right? This was a bear flag that was many drew, but it did not break. Obviously, they took it to the upside, and then for 4 days we had a huge rally. This is not the time to buy. Above 4,500 is not the time. Many of you guys were trying to go long at this right here on February 2nd when I saw, right? Or in the market I saw, maybe not in MSL, in the outside in the market I was seeing. That's not the time to go long, and those people are experienced. And I was just like, what the hell is wrong with these guys, right? After missing this entire 300-point move, they're going long now, right? When this is the time to actually go short again, right? Sell the huge rips in this kind of market, because we clearly have a lot of uncertainty coming in the few weeks with the rate hikes, what's going to happen and what not. All right. And obviously we gave up some gains. Facebook going down $70 was the biggest hint. I don't care. Google went above up 300 points. It doesn't matter. Google announced a split. But Facebook going down 70 points was the biggest hint. There's a lot more pain to come in the markets. Forget Amazon going up 400 points. Amazon went up. It was a thin rally. Fine, it went up. It gave up more than 230 points from the highs. Amazon's still under 3,100 today pre-market, right? And which is bad, right? I mean, it's nothing. It's still 600 points off the all-time highs. Right, but congrats Yash for nailing the calls, right? And take the profits, as early as you can. But today we see a very big, there's a lot of volatility that will happen today. So first, let's go over the SPX levels, right? So first we have, so above these levels, right? And if you guys want these numbers, you can still see them after. So 45.25. So 45. I'll just take these off. Right, 44.80 was the overnight, right? And then we have 45.25 as the first resistance, right? First resistance, and then we have 45.56 as the second resistance. All right, I'm gonna tell you guys what's gonna happen with SPX today. I'll actually draw it out, and I'm pretty sure I will be right of the entire day move. 44.50, and then we have 43.97 as support. All right, now listen to my voice carefully. What I'm gonna say here, guys. On the 5-minute, now today SPX, if it rips in the morning, if SPX goes up in the morning, it's likely going to go test 45.25, and it's likely going to go test 45.56 if it goes through here. All right, if we rally. All right, right now I don't think this is going to happen. It's a very unlikely scenario, but in case they decide to rip the market, all right, because a lot of puts are expiring today, and there's a good chance that they can VanEck can show up. It shows up to the upside and downside. That's the number one scenario. All right. Now, if this scenario doesn't, if the upside scenario does not work out in the morning, to the downside, as if we might come and test yesterday's closing, but to the downside, if we break, currently I think we're trading there. If 44.50 does not hold on SPX, if 44.50 does not hold, we're likely going to go down a lot towards 43.97. We're probably going to break 4,400, and then we have the volatility trigger. So to the upside, the volatility trigger is 45.25, but to the downside, if the market does not cover their put. If they don't, if they decide to hedge more, if there's more put buying going on, they're gonna take the market much lower. There's gonna be a huge red candle to a downside. They're gonna sell it even more. And by any chance, if financials and energy show some weakness today, which has been holding the S&P, then it's gonna flush even a lot more. All right, so just keep that in your mind. It's going to be there will be a lot of volatility. I think if you do strangles today, it'll be a great play. I might actually do one strangle early in the morning, just hold it throughout the day and see which way it rips. As soon as it goes over 200%, I'll probably take my profits. All right, so I will do a strangle in the morning today. All right, but to the upside, 45.25 is the key. If we break through the 45.25 and we hold, there could be a rally to the upside all the way towards 45.56 and even 4600. All right, it's possible, especially the Qs. Keep an eye on the Qs, guys. A lot of puts expiring on the Qs, if you guys saw, right? There's a good chance, it's a possibility that Qs can easily go all the way towards 368, 370 area today. It's possible, yes. And that obviously will shift the entire tech market up. But how long does that rally last? I have no idea. There's a good chance that we can visit this area, which is almost a $10 move to the upside, if the hedging happens and they don't buy more puts. However, if more puts are being bought and then the makers have to hedge more, then we are going to see more downside in the markets. All right. So let's see what happens. If there's a rally today, it's even better because then we'll get to short on Monday. Or maybe today by closing price, I'll take some shorts near the top price a few weeks out on Qs. I'll probably buy 320 puts or something just as a hedge, right? Because then I see the market heading lower again later on. Into the OPEX and then in the coming months. All right, but if we sell off today, then it's just going to get more ugly. Then we're going to see if we hold this support or not. Then it's just going to go even much lower faster, right? But I'd rather have the market hold up right now, so that we can get the puts cheaper. All right, so Qs, pay attention. Vanna comes both ways, to the upsides and then to the downside. It can also happen. All right, so this is going to be violent today. We will see a big shift on the Qs as per the gamma, as per the way the things have been positioned. So if you are somebody that does strangles, I think that will be a great day to do strangles. Mama, congrats on your strangles yesterday. All right, and now some names that you want to keep an eye on: Apple, Google, Tesla, Facebook. These are some of the names, or the big tech, you can say. Apple also has a lot of things expiring. Another way to play Apple could be here. Let me give you guys a scenario. How else you can play tech if you really want to play. So now we all know Apple, and then we have the Qs. You can literally play a strangle on two different names. It does not have to be one name. On one, you can buy calls. On one, you can buy puts, right? And then you look at your total cost, whatever the total cost comes to, right? You have to have fast fingers for that, whatever the total cost comes to. And then you see one of them will have a better increase. As long as they both respect each other, right? Most of the time, they will respect each other, right? And this is just an example. Maybe you can go put on Apple's calls and Qs. I don't know. This is a strategy that I'm trying to share with you guys. Now you look at your total cost. Let's say maybe at $2. Maybe it's a $1 option each. And then as soon as the total cost, maybe they're selling, one of them increases significantly to one side, you can sell them at 3. That's a 50% profit, right? That's sometimes to play the market in a way where you're taking less risk. All right. But of course, the returns won't be as high, but at least it's more likely a winning trade. All right, so keep an eye on Apple. Will be violent today. Google will also have a sharp move to one side to the other. I hope Google also rips again, because it will be it'll be a good time to short again at 3,000. Right? I hope it rips. What do I mean by rip? Something like this. Here, remember LRCX on 14th Jan? We had this huge rip. If Google can give us the same thing today, I will take puts at the end of the day, right? And then we probably see a downside in the coming weeks. Google announced a split, but the split's happening. They're still months away, right? So we'll see. But I think it'll be a good time to short Google if it gets above 3,000. That's just my own opinion. Maybe it continues higher if the market announces something. Who knows, right? But if to the downside, obviously it can be a big red day to the downside as well. All right. So that's one. Facebook also gave up a lot of gains. Facebook, for some reason, 250, just a psychological level, could be a pin level if we rip. So let's see what Facebook does. Amazon. Does Amazon hold gains? Now the question here is, yesterday I came in, I left one comment that, even if Amazon rips 300, 400 points, which is actually one of the biggest rips I've seen in the history of Amazon earnings, right, dollar-wise, right, it went all the way towards 3,300, right, that was almost, 430 point rip. It gave up already more than 200 points, which is not a good thing. So Amazon went all the way up to here pre-market, right? It was yesterday after market, and it already gave up 200 points now. That's not a good sign, right? And going to go through Amazon's earnings, I did not read much, but I did look at some points. Their gains came from Rivian. Their Amazon Web Services, they gave some good business. They led the market, but their e-commerce business actually delivered losses. So their e-commerce business was not in profits. I mean, it was profit, but it was not as expected. They delivered in North America and um, Africa, I think it was. I did not write the countries down. But in North America and on another continent, they actually delivered losses from their e-commerce business. And the biggest comment, the comment that matters the most on earnings is guidance. And guess what? They guided lower. This is not good, right? They guided lower for quarter one, right? The numbers were impressive, but they guided lower. Prime memberships increased. That's good, obviously, for business. Now, long term, I'm the biggest bull on Amazon, but short term, we're gonna see what the market gives us. By any chance, if Amazon breaks 3,000, I think 3,000, 3,100, around these levels might be a pin today, right? Let's see what happens. But if you're in the calls, I would take my profits right off the open because there's a good chance they might just sell this off or rip. I have no idea what's gonna happen, right? So does Amazon hold a gap? I don't know. I think we're gonna head lower. That's just my own prediction. But let's see what happens, right? For me, this is the only one thing that matters: the guidance, and they got it lower. That's not good. All right. So just keep an eye on this part, right? No need to rush. No need to have FOMO, right? LB had repeated a few times. There's no need to have FOMO, right? He's majority cash, right? It said there's no need to FOMO into anything. If these rips happen in these markets and you see the bigger macro picture, it's a perfect time to take some shorts. All right. I'm not bearish or bullish on the market. I'm just basically trading what I'm seeing. All right. So this gap up on Amazon, I'm going to take it as a blessing. It comes down to 2,700. I'll add some equity, plus I'll buy some puts along with adding equity, right? In case if we do break to further to the downside, depending on how the market behaves, right? So let's see what Amazon gives us today, right? And then Tesla also. I think yesterday gave a nice little rip and then it sold off, right? We had a nice little double top and then it sold off, right? So Tesla also, if it holds under 900 today, there's a good chance we see 850. But the only thing that you want to keep in mind today on the Qs, in case if they take off their hedges and there's not more puts being bought today, which they might buy on Monday, then we will have a rally today. All right, there could be a good rally to the upside today. It can happen at 9:30, it can happen at 10 o'clock, it can happen from 11 to 12, it can happen maybe at the end of the day from 3:50 to 4, in which, or 3:30 to 4, where we usually make the most profits. All right. Shop strangles for February 11th. Yash, let's see. Shop 700. Wow. So shop is actually set up perfectly. Yeah, Yash, I would take the strangle. If I can get the strangles for February 11th, which is next week, if I can get them under 25 bucks, I would do them. But I doubt the shop gives you these strangles for 25 bucks because shop usually has a lot of premium on their calls and puts. But if you get them under 25, I would do it. But anything over 25 can be hard, right? But I don't think they'll give it to you for 25 bucks. But under 25 for both strangles, I would play it, right? So see if you do. And technically, no shop. I mean, e-commerce stocks, whatever you see that has ripped is because of Amazon, right? Is the market sentiment, like social media stocks. When Facebook went down, everything went down. And yes, for Snap went up, everything went up, right? So Snapchat also was up a lot pre-market today. They actually beat their revenues. They actually showed good profits. Their numbers were good, right? They grew about 20% or so, whatever the number was, right? And Snap here, if you have calls by any chance, take your profits, right? Or roll out. What happens to it? Let's see. It depends on the market. I see 40 as a very hard resistance on Snap, right? So does this gap up hold? I have no idea. So let's see if it holds or not, right? But if anybody's in calls, congrats. Pins also 30 is a very strong level it needs to hold. Pins has to hold above 30 in order for it to go higher. If 30 is not held, then the downtrend probably continues. All right. Twitter is simple. Same thing. Needs 40 minimum, $40 right here. If 40 is not held, it probably continues much lower then. Right? They were up a lot yesterday after hours. I think these stocks have given up a lot of gains, right? And just remember, pins, yes, Keshav, 30 is a hold. Goldman Sachs, banks, XLF has just been holding up. It's just a matter of time, I think, but financials have been holding up lately. So Goldman Sachs, if it can hold under 360 and build a base here, then maybe we can see lower on the financials. Right, and I have time on my puts. I haven't looked at it in the last 3 days. It's actually had a nice little rally along with the market. So I think if the financials, energy, those are the strongest sectors right now. And if they give up, gains, and I think oil is flying. If you guys go on Finviz and look at the futures, you'll see oil like the big spikes happening, right? So once they give up gains, I think market will see much lower. It's just a matter of time. It can happen next week, the week after, maybe in March, whenever it happens. You just have to look at the macro picture overall, right? And so let's see when that happens. And yeah, because XLE, if you look at it, it's just crazy what the run is having, right? Oil has just been crazy strong, right? So XLE, XLF, once they give up, these are the sectors which have been holding up the market, then we might see more downside, right? And however, if the SPX Qs, everything holds up and we see the levels hold into February end, then the scenarios may change, who knows, right? Anything is possible. But right now, this is based on the current information that we have and what we know. All right. At the end of the day, guys, protect your gains. You guys have been doing great on voice chat. Congrats. Protect your gains. No need to rush into anything. Friday, first 10-15 minutes, I'll just watch, and then I'll see what strangles are the best priced. I'll just jump on them, probably leave them, and have my sell loader in at the same time. And let's see how they will perform. And just go over the gamma report once it's posted in pre-market. I think that will help you guys a lot to understand the move that may happen today. All right. Thank you so much for attending.